So I hope that everybody is on or coming on. All right. Are you there yet? Hello. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. Hi. Is the sound good? I'm trying to turn it up. That's as far as it'll go. Hey. All right, I'm trying to log on as my other self. Sound good? Thumbs up for those that are logging on. Hey, everybody. I hope that you listened to the podcast. If you didn't, then go listen to it now. We'll be on for like an hour, so go listen to it now. Hey, everybody. Hi, new subbies. Welcome to the family. Yay. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, if y'all can see this setup that I got going on. So I'm sitting on my little folding table and I'm like crouched down because I have some things I'm working on sitting on my bed. I've got some weirdo rando lights on the side here and I'm in the Walmart parking lot back behind the Walmart. It is a sight to behold, I tell you, if you could see what goes on behind the scenes. Anywho, so everyone's saying the sound is good. Thank you. Thank you for logging in. So by a show of hand, thumbs up or smiley emoji, who listened to the podcast for Snap Judgments number 705 called The Patient? So I'm going to wait and get those signals because I know some of you are on a delay. So I'm going to wait. Hey. I want to see if anybody... No, so far nobody is showing me that they listened. Uh-oh, no podcast. Ooh, then you're not gonna, this is not gonna be very good live for you if you didn't listen to the podcast, because this is the discussion of that podcast. So why don't you exit out and go listen to the first two stories at least, and then you can kind of be with us. So Snap Judgment number 705. It's on Spotify and it's on SoundCloud, because this is the discussion for that. So if you just want to listen to the discussion, that's fine. I just ask that you don't comment if it's not a part of the podcast. So, hey everybody. So the Snap Judgment podcast was number 705. And that's what this live is for today. And just know that all of the times that I put for live videos that are scheduled are always going to be on East Coast time. So you'll have to do the figuring out of what that time is for your coast, Pacific, Central, all those different time zones. So, like I said, today's podcast is about the Snap Judgment episode 705. I was going to take notes because I listened to it for the third time, but I did not take those notes. So bear with me. The first story of the podcast is about a woman, a single mother, and I think she has 2 daughters. And she was, the podcast is on either Spotify or SoundCloud. It's Snap Judgment number 705. You can go listen to it now. So single mom. Has, I think, 2 daughters, she said, I think, in the story she says. But she's looking for love, for romance, for whatever, a companion. So she's doing the online dating thing, and it's not going very well for her. And she is almost ready to give up and decides that she's going to, give it a little longer. And she meets a guy in Montreal. She's in New York, I think. And she meets a guy in Montreal. And they hit it off. A lot of things in common. So they, correspond with each other. I guess they talk on the phone, maybe. I can't remember every single thing. But anyway, so they decide to have a their first date, their first visit, or what have you. I guess she's going to be, I don't know if she went to spend the weekend with him or something was going on and she was going to be in the same place in Montreal. I don't know how it happened where it was a weekend thing. So instead of her getting a hotel or something, somehow or another they decided that because he has a daughter from his first marriage, that he has an extra bedroom, his daughter's bedroom, that she would just come and stay at his place instead of them having to, you know, do the hotel and back and forth and, you know, whatever. So, who listened to this podcast? I only think I saw 2 or 3 people that said they listened to this podcast. So just by a show of hands, of an emoji hand or a I did or something to let me know if you listened to it. There's 51 people here. Hopefully at least half of you guys listen to the podcast. If you didn't, please exit out, whichever way you exit, and go listen to Snap Judgment podcast number 705. It's on SoundCloud and Spotify for free. Free. Or I think you can go to snapjudgment.com or .org and get the thing there too. All right, so I got like, how many people said I did? 1, 2. Wow, that's not very many people. 3, 4. Okay, well, we're just gonna do the best we can. So anyway, I cannot remember the woman's name for some reason, but the man's name is Eve, and French Canadian, I guess. So she comes to his house, his home. Sorry, I hit the thing. She comes to his home. They meet for the first time. You know, their expectations are exactly, you know, whatever pictures I guess they exchanged with each other are exactly what they were expecting. It was a very warm greeting. So she gets to his house and she says, I have to open up your refrigerator. I'll explain to you later. So basically she opens up his fridge and then she calls her girlfriend on the cell phone and says, hey, I'm at Eve's house and he's not a serial killer. There are no heads in his refrigerator. And they laugh about it. And she hangs up with her girlfriend and he says, oh, but you didn't check the freezer. So they laugh about it. So they're going to go to the market to buy groceries. And then I guess they're going to cook dinner together. But what happened? Why didn't they do that? They're on their way to the market, I guess. No, he goes to kiss her and they have this long, passionate kiss. I guess just to kind of get it over with, break the ice or whatever. And I guess they end up having sex. I don't know. She doesn't say that. It's a very nice story. It's a very sweet story. So she doesn't go into details of that. That's not necessary. That's not really what the story is about. So they end up, let's see. I'm trying to remember if they go out to dinner first or if they end up taking a nap. I think, no, they go out to dinner. So they go out to dinner after the kiss and the encounter. And because he says, you know, his head's hurting. He's really, really hungry now. And let's just go out to dinner and we'll do the market tomorrow. So because they're both hungry. So they go out to dinner. They have a nice meal. They get back and his head is still really hurting. And he says something or other about laying down and taking a nap. So they take a nap and she wakes up to a loud sound or like a crash, something falling. She gets up, goes into the bathroom where the light's on and he's in the bathroom and there's, Tylenol all over the floor and he is crouched down on the bathroom and not really responsive. So she has to call 911. So she calls 911 and he goes to the hospital. They go to the hospital, and because they've just met each other, they've only spent several hours around each other. She can't make any kind of decisions for her. Oh, that's right. Rewind. Sorry, guys. I missed a big part. Not a big part, but a part. So while they were out going to the restaurant, his ex-wife and daughter were taking a walk or whatever. And so they did run into his first wife and daughter, and he introduced the woman. And they had a very, casual encounter, very nice encounter, and they went on about their separate ways. So the hospital tells her that she might as well leave because they can't give her any information. She's not a next of kin or anything like that. So that they would call her, or whatever. So they do call her at his house. She goes back to his place. They do call her there and tell her, is there any family that we can contact for him? And because they can't divulge any medical information, she asks, is he dying? Is he okay? And they say, well, the nurse tells her, it doesn't look good. So she gives her she goes in his cell phone and looks up the ex-wife's name, and in the cell phone gives the number to the nurse. And I guess a few hours later, the ex-wife calls. I'm gonna have to move this stuff over and sit on the bed because this is very uncomfortable. The ex-wife calls and tells her, "Can you come to the hospital?" And she says, "Yes, I'm on my way. I'll get there as soon as I can." Excuse me. So she comes to the hospital. Excuse me. And she basically, the ex-wife tells her that he's basically brain dead and they're going to take him off the respirator, but they wanted any friends and family to come say goodbye to him. And so they wanted to give her that opportunity as well. Now, this woman has just met this man in person for the first time, and this is the experience that she's having. And so they ask her, you know, well, he came in, you know, with no clothes on. And we just wanted to know, you know, it's personal, but were you with him? And, you know, yes, I was with him. I was there with him. You know, we were together in bed sleeping. And they said she thought they were going to be upset about that, but they were ecstatic about that. They were happy about that because apparently he had lived since the divorce on his own for 2 years, very, you know, alone. He would have been in the house by himself. He would have died alone. He wouldn't have had any happy moments before dying. So they were happy. The parents were happy. The ex-wife was happy that he was not alone and hadn't died in that house alone, and someone would have never known for, you know, maybe days, you know, that he had died and he would have been, you know, alone. So anyhow, they let her spend some time alone with him to say goodbye. And it was very, very sweet. And, you know, she went back home having only spent 7 hours with this man. And she stops at a diner in New York when she gets back to New York. And she's very preoccupied with the fact that she has just found a man she connected with, spent time online with him, got to know him, had this encounter with him. It was almost like a love, and then he was gone just that quickly in a matter of 8 hours that they spent together. Really, really, really sad but sweet story. So if you didn't watch Snap Judgment, if you did not listen to Snap Judgment number 705, then you really, 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 really need to. And I think that episode has 3 stories. So the second story is a trip. I'm going to tell you right now, you have to listen to it. It's a trip. That second story is hilarious. And I cannot remember the third story. I'm really bad about that because I listened to it a while ago. So anyway, so for those of you that watched, oh gosh, why do I keep saying watching? For those of you that listened to the Snap Judgment episode number 705 called The Patient, what did you like about it? What you didn't like about it? I mean, it's a true story, so I mean, you can like or not like. But what spoke to you about it? What resonated with you? What you know, whatever. I don't know. Just tell me your thoughts on the story. That first story. We're just going to talk about the first story right now. So now's your time. Chat it up. Okay, anybody? Nobody wants to chat about this? All right. Remember, we're going to be doing these monthly podcast chats, guys, so we got to chat it up. Nothing? Nobody? 60 people on here, and I know at least 5 of you listen to this. Yes, no, maybe so. Hello, everybody. No, nothing? Nothing? Didn't listen to it? Ugh. Wow. Wow. Okay. So nobody has nothing to say. Okay. Well, so in order for this to work as a monthly podcast discussion, everybody needs to listen to the podcast so we can have a discussion about the podcast. So this is not the book club. So we're not talking about the book right now, but that is coming up. So most definitely you're going to want to finish reading The Alchemist. And we're going to talk about that on the 31st. So if you are in the middle of it or if you're just starting it, you've got exactly 1 week from today at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so tomorrow's podcast is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is the live Q&A and chat. So I'm going to end this one because it seems like not enough people listened to the podcast. And for the few that did, don't really have anything to say. So this is probably going to be my shortest live video that I have ever done. It's only 15, 16 minutes long. So go listen to the podcast. It's Snap Judgment, number 705. And it's on Spotify and it's on SoundCloud. So, and they're both free platforms to listen to it. So I will see you guys tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the Q&A and chat. Please, please, please write some questions down. So, no, we're not going to talk about random stuff today because that's for tomorrow. So tomorrow, again, I'll say it again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Figure out what that time is for your time. That is the monthly Q&A and chat, and that is the third Sunday of every month. Spotify is an app. It is free. It is free to listen. It is free to download. It is free. And SoundCloud is an app. It is free. It is free to download, and it is free to listen. Snap Judgment is on both of the platforms, and you're looking for episode number 705. So I'm going to pull up and tell you which episode we'll be talking about next month. So let me open up my... Where is my Spotify? So we're going to do... Okay, I'm going to have to do it this way. So the next month's podcast episode we're looking for, or going to listen to, rather. Sorry, guys, I thought I had my Spotify up here. I don't have my Spotify. I don't know what that's about. This is why I have a secondary phone, but apparently I did not do my SoundCloud or Spotify on this secondary phone. So I'm going to download it real quick and pull up my account. So there's usually 2 to 3 stories on the Snap Judgment. So, and they're really, really good stories. They will keep you engaged. They will keep you listening. They're not boring at all. And there are dope beats behind the stories and mixed in the stories. You know, they have a DJ that works with the person who's interviewing, the person who's telling their story. All of the stories that I've heard so far are true stories. They're all told from the first person, the person whose story it is, which makes it really cool, makes it really interesting. So the person who's telling the story or being interviewed is right there with the person. So you hear it all, you see it all. I mean, you don't see it, obviously, but from their perspective. So the true story is being told. So definitely get those two, one of those 2 apps, either SoundCloud or Spotify, or if you want both, you can get both. But Snap Judgment is available on there. Now, I will say that the episode 705, today when I looked, for some reason, it was not showing up in Spotify. So you might need to check out SoundCloud, or you can go to the website, and I think you can listen to it online at the website. So tomorrow is not a podcast. Tomorrow is just a monthly live Q&A. So come tomorrow with your questions. And that's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to, any of this information is available at my website, crystalvannercreations.com. All the calendar is there. You can see all the things. So Crystal Vanner Creations with an S, creations.com. My whole schedule is there. Where I'm going to be for the meetups. What else? When the live videos will be. All of that is there. One-stop shop for finding out what's going on with my YouTube live videos and my meetups. So with meetups right now, you just have a city and a state. Check back 2 days prior to the meetup, and you will see a location and a time. They will all be between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. I'm sorry that sometimes they will be a weekday. That's just the way my life is. So I understand if you can't come. But they will all be in a public place. They will all be... All right, let's see here. Snap Judgment. I don't want to listen to the track. I want to go to Snap Judgment. Pause. Station. There we go. All right. Our next Snap Judgment. Let's like it. How do I get to the list of podcasts? All right. Let's go back here. Let's type in Snap Judgment. All right, sorry guys, I know this is not conducive to doing a live video. Okay, there we go. All right, all the Snap Judgments. Where's the... Oh shoot, it's not showing the station. All right. For some reason, this was not cooperating with me. All right, so I'm gonna have to post it in the description box later. I'll go and edit and put the next date and time and next episode of the Snap Judgment that we'll be looking at. So I'm so sorry. So again, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live Q&A and chat. Take your random questions, write them down for me. We will chat there for about an hour. And then on March 31st is the book club. Read The Alchemist, have it read and be ready to discuss the book. And then next month, we are going to be starting, first Saturday of the month will be podcasts. So I will definitely let you know by the end of today what next month's podcast is. Come back here and check in the description box to see what next month's podcast is, because that's only going to be a week, 2 weeks away. Hold on, let me pull up my calendar. So that would be Saturday, April 7th would be the next podcast. So listen to it and come prepared to discuss the stories and what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, what you thought was interesting, what spoke to you, what struck you, whatever. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Saturday. And if you're in the East Coast, it's like 8:20-ish or so. I guess some of you are going to bed maybe. Good night. And for those of you who are not going to bed yet, don't party too hard. Love you guys. Bye.